legacy, breaking a truly unbreakable record. There's a great video going around from a decade ago of a young LeBron and Jason Kidd and a bunch of guys being asked about averaging a triple-double for just one season, what Oscar Robertson did, and them saying, oh no, that will never happen again. And now Russ has done it 4 times in 5 years. Russ has 182 triple-doubles in his career, but he has 174 triple-doubles in his last 500 games. He only had 8 triple-doubles the first 6 seasons of his career. What he has done over the last 7 years is remarkable, and by the way, it has led to winning. His teams win 75% of the games that he has had a triple-double. That is a 61-win pace. But before we really dive into the numbers of it, I want to talk about the emotion of it. Because, Jenna, you'll remember me saying this years ago about Russ, and I stand by it to this day. If you are a parent and you have a child, boy or girl, that plays sports, the person you should have them watch is Russell Westbrook. His respect for the game, his dedication, his relentlessness, his drive, the way that if you watch him, you cannot tell in an era of load management and easing yourself into the year and trying to peak for the postseason, you cannot tell if this is Game 6 of the conference finals or Game 6 of the season. The way he attacks every game, every possession is admirable and should be taught across sports. That's the emotional side. The practical side, if we can show this quickly, is he is at worst one of the 35 greatest players ever, likely one of the 30 greatest players ever. And look at that resume. Most triple-doubles ever, 4 seasons averaging a triple-double, a league MVP, 9 times All-NBA, might make it 10 times this year, 2 scoring titles, 3 assist titles. Brandon, I feel like Russ, we got numb to the triple-double. And because of that, I think he became a little underrated by some, particularly some that only watch basketball through the prism of numbers as opposed to actually watching the games. He's an all-time great player who deserves this moment.
100%. And it's time to give us his flowers, not only today, but moving forward. I mean, this will be debated all day on every sports show. It'll be debated for years to come. And that's what makes it great. There's going to be people on both sides of this conversation. And some people are going to say, well, why don't you see him as great? And there's going to be some say, why do you see him as great? Well, that's what makes this so phenomenal, because we haven't seen this in almost 50 years. I mean, Russell Westbrook, and Nick, you hit it on the head as far as his legacy. This is his legacy. His legacy is solidified. I don't know what title you want to give him. I've been sitting here for almost 2 hours trying to figure out, you know, he's the greatest of all time in this category. I don't know what that is. Most athletic NBA player, most dominant NBA player, most explosive. I don't see anyone touching this. Not only that, you know, when you talk about all of sports, you know, this is what you dream of, is to be able to dominate for a decade, the consistency. You got to think about everything he had to work through, Wilds, the injuries to keep it going, you know, the perseverance when Kevin Durant left. He didn't leave OKC, he stayed there and said, you know what, I'll try to figure it out. So I absolutely love what Russell Westbrook has done. Not everybody is going to cheer him. Not everybody is going to give him his flowers. But this feat is nothing short of phenomenal. All of the NBA greats are celebrating him today. You saw what Allen Iverson tweeted. You know, we never, in all caps, never thought this would be broken. 47 years, unbelievable.
You know what, Brandon? I thought his legacy is a lot like his fashion. He always tries very, very hard. He's usually amazing, and occasionally it backfires. Usually, you know he is, whatever
That's right.
it is, though, it's one of a kind. In
That's
his
great.
game, Nick, look at this one. Look at the gloves. Come on. Let's go. That's why his game, Nick, you watch other guys play basketball, but you have a Russell Westbrook experience. My buddy Kirk Goldsberry tried to outline that
That's
experience and how good he is at rebounding the ball and passing the ball. So look at him. He's a total outlier up there in the right corner with assists and rebounds, right next to the Joker. But then you look at his shooting chart. This is Goldsberry's bread and butter. And it is icy, icy cold. Good around the rim, but he's been knocked for being, quite frankly, not a great shooter. So, Nick, there's a few people, largely in the analytics community, who don't like his game. And you say he's a winner, but, you know, he's never had a deep, deep playoff run. Never, you know. Well, they went to the finals, so I shouldn't say that. But it's more, he hasn't won the championship, and I think a lot of people hold that against him.
Listen, he's not a perfect player, but there's only two guys in the entire league that check every box. It's LeBron and Durant. They're the only two. And every other guy we can poke holes at. What hurts Russ is the analytics. We are in the era of efficiency, and Russ's biggest weakness is efficiency. Listen, if he had a silky smooth jump shot, he would be one of the 10 greatest players ever. If you had all of what he brings to the table, plus a great jump shot, he would simply be on the contingent for the Mount Rushmore of NBA players. It's his one weakness, but because of that, the same folks that were screaming at the top of their lungs at me last week that not only is Nikola Jokic the MVP, Nikola Jokic is actually having one of the 8 greatest seasons in NBA history, I almost said a bad word. Those folks that can only watch basketball through the numbers don't see the fact that he clearly impacts winning in a positive way. And I want to bring up a historical comp quickly, Wilds, that we brought up last week that on its face seems absurd, but I don't think it is. And that was John Stockton. Now, John Stockton and Russ, their games are not similar, but their all-time NBA ranking is very, very close to each other. And Stockton does not have hung around his neck, oh, well, he could never win. Why not? Because he lost to Jordan? Okay, well, Russ got to the finals and lost to LeBron. The next time he was on a great team in the first game of the playoffs, he got his knee torn up by Patrick Beverley. The next time he was on a great team and got deep in the playoffs, they were up 3-1 on Golden State and lost to an all-time great team. It's like, okay, yeah, but Russ had Kevin Durant. Yeah, and Stockton had Karl Malone, and they have the same number of championships. And nobody, tries to pick away at Stockton's resume the way people do with Russ. He is going to finish his career as one of the 30 greatest players ever. If that's not enough for people, I guess I don't know what is.
All right, Russell Westbrook with a record-breaking night in the NBA. We will have much more on this still to come, but we got to take a turn, talk some football.